Well, Lucy, nice to see you. I'm so delighted that you decided to come along and try our points of view today. So, without further ado, I'm going to tell you that you're going to start by writing your issue down on this piece of paper. That's marvellous. Now tell me what you've written.
Well, I have a fear of going blank in public speaking situations. It's probably an irrational fear, but I stand up and I have this moment of absolute terror that I'm going to just go completely blank and stand there feeling like an idiot. What can I do to deal with my fear of going blank?
So place it over here on the board. It's going to face you. Now, before we carry on, I just want to tell you that there are no positives and no negatives. It's just a question of how you view the situation. So don't be concerned if you get a card that may be potentially negative. It may not be at all. Just look at it and deal with it from your particular point of view. The other thing is that there's no right and no wrong. So relax and pick up 3 cards.
Wow, I'm intrigued.
Now place your first card face down on what am I gaining, then on what am I paying, and then on number 3, what is the insight. Terrific. Now, let's have a look at number 1 and see what it says to you. Okay, so, and what does it say?
It says joy. 2 happy, smiley looking people.
So cover the word and look at the visual and tell me now what you see.
Are they clowning around?
So how could you possibly deal with your fear of public speaking?
By laughing at myself, laughing at the situation.
Okay, so you could be laughing at yourself or laughing at the situation. What else could you be doing?
I could be trying to get the audience to laugh.
So you could possibly get the audience to laugh. Okay. So go to your second card. What price am I paying?
Oh wow, look at that. It's a beautiful carpet of autumn leaves with a bicycle leaning against a tree. What price am I paying? Well, perhaps the price I pay is that I'll just launch into something willy-nilly and I'll kind of lose my train of thought and lose my way and then go blank. Perhaps that's what it suggests.
If you do pause or if you don't pause?
If I don't pause.
Right, so if you don't pause. So what has that told you, that picture told you about your situation if you cover the word pause? What else does it tell you, if anything?
When you have a fear of any aspect of public speaking, I think the tendency is to just talk too fast. You can just stand up and gabble. So perhaps that's telling me is that you can take your time. You can do it, at a more leisurely pace and kind of find your way, find the ground beneath your feet. Perhaps that's what that's suggesting to me.
That's very interesting. So let's go on to what your insight is now.
Goodness me. There's the word pain and there's a chap who appears to be screaming or crying or shouting, perhaps in pain.
So how does that relate to your fear?
Well, certainly it does evoke the sense of anxiety and frustration I feel, sort of hair-tearing up frustration that I can't get myself to not feel afraid.
So if you cover the word pain, does the visual tell you anything else or does it just reflect pain to you?
Intense frustration, I think.
Okay, intense frustration. And what do you think you could do about this intense frustration when it comes to overcoming your fear?
Stepping back and not totally getting overwhelmed by it.
If you were to talk about what you believe your insights have been this afternoon, what would you say you've learned from these cards about your fear and how to overcome it? What do you need to do?
Well, it's quite interesting actually, because you haven't told me what to do. Is the interesting thing that's emerged from this for me. These have been all my own projections onto this.
Correct.
Which essentially I've answered my own questions.
Correct.
Which is really, really interesting. It's very clever, I have to say. So yeah, I mean, the three pieces that have come together from this are that possibly I need to lighten up, you know, laugh at the situation, get the audience to laugh, and then everybody relaxes better. I need to take a breath and pause. I don't have to willy-nilly go straight into a sentence, you know, or a train of thought. I can just have a little break. I can pause. Give myself a moment to find the ground beneath my feet before I go into a sentence when I'm speaking. The pain one, I suppose I'm looking at that now and thinking, well, it doesn't need to be as extreme as this. I don't need to feel quite so much frustration or anguish or despair, you know. It doesn't need to be as extreme as this.
So what can you replace it with?
Well, like a more kind of managed approach, I suppose. That it's not just, this is clearly somebody who's just overwhelmed by whatever it is that's upsetting them. And I suppose if you take a more kind of rational, managed approach, then you're not going to be as overwhelmed as he is.
So what are you going to do differently next time?
I think I'm going to give myself permission to take my time over whatever it is I'm saying. Don't have to, you know, people aren't in a particular hurry if they're sitting waiting for you to speak. I think I need to remove the sense of urgency I have. I think it's that sense of urgency that makes me think I won't be able to think on my feet.
What are you going to replace that urgency with?
With a calmness which will allow me to take my time to find the words I want to say, to find my thought.
Oh, that's marvellous, Lucy. Thanks ever so much. I hope you've gained something from today. And when is your next speaking engagement?
I think it's in about a month from now.
Fantastic. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Okay. Good luck.